FM Stereo Talk.
Can we begin by looking at Zimbabwe's debt clearance plan?
We have since cleared our arrears to the IMF, and right now, clearance of arrears to the African Development Bank and the World Bank is underway. It's work in progress. And I'm confident that we should be able to reach an understanding this year.
The talk that gets you talking. Mondays to Thursdays between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m.
The platform. Step up and speak out.
You tune into ZFM Stereo, my station, your station, the hottest radio in town. The name is Kwirirayi, and this episode of the platform, a special edition episode, as always, on Mondays, as we have between 7:30 and 8:30, a program that creates a platform for people to be able to discuss the current affairs issues that's happening across the country. And we have a special one for you today, in which we I'll be giving you information on that in a bit, actually. Just to remind you of some of the frequencies you can listen to us on: Chivu 99.8, Kamativi Wange 105.1, Mutorashanga 97.6, Nyanga 98.2, Gweru 104.3, Mashingo 96.1, Kadoma 105.2, Bulawayo, my hometown, 106.7, and we're broadcasting out of Harare, where our frequency is 106.4. The conversation is, of course, also available over the internet on www.zfmstereo.co.zw, and look for the TuneIn app via your Google Play Store or the App Store, and just look for the TuneIn app, and then you can listen to us live and in charge on ZFM Stereo. And then the conversation is also available on Twitter at ZFM Stereo, on Facebook, facebook.com/ZFM Stereo. On Instagram, it is at ZFM Stereo ZW, and of course our podcast. And as far as this program is concerned, just go onto YouTube and look for ZFM Stereo. Today we are on social media. The big conversation has been earlier today. Wigno Chivayo, who is known for leading a flashy life, especially on social media, appeared before Parliament. Now, apparently, lawyers representing Intratech, a company that he is involved in, said the flashy businessman surrendered his shares in the company back in 2014 when he went broke. The duo appeared before the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Mines and Energy today. Intratech company lawyer Bruce Otokwe said Chivayo was now working for the company as a managing director. Now we're going to play the first part listening to the duo, but your feedback is welcome in as far as this program is concerned. I will read your feedback during the break and also at the end of the program, so you can send your feedback and I'll read as many of those messages that you send in. Our WhatsApp number being 0731 168 That's our WhatsApp number, and you can also get in touch, of course, on Twitter at ZFM Stereo, and on Facebook, facebook.com/ZFM Stereo. So this is the first part, the conversation, or rather the presentation that was happening in Parliament and the grilling thereof.
Here we go again.
Enjoy world-class radio online. ZFM Stereo is available on TuneIn. Search for ZFM Stereo and you got it.
The biggest challenge that has been there, and I think everybody has seen it, is that even in communicating with members of this august house, Mr. Chivayo was saying, I did this, I did that, my this, my that. He has never respected certain corporate governance issues that relate to the management of companies. And that is precisely why we are here today, because the shareholders have said, this project is not moving, we are concerned, we risk our names being tainted, etc., because of whatever is going on. But it's high time we take some action and make sure that things are happening on the ground. Right, we have tried to engage him on behalf of the shareholders. As you know, obviously there is need to restructure the board and the management of Intratech Zimbabwe Private Limited to make sure that there's progress on these projects of national importance. We've tried to engage the Mr. Chivayo here to get some documents, etc., etc. In fact, we have asked the same questions that you are asking in this august house as to, for example, what could have happened with the monies, etc., etc. And even the shareholders themselves are none the wiser. All right. We have even approached ZPC. We have written several correspondences and said, can you please assist us with these things so that we can get this project back on track, because the people who were the principal funders in the first place need to come in and make sure that there's progress. Of course, we have not registered any lack that side. But I wish to indicate in clear and certain terms that the shareholders of Intermuron Investments, the shareholders of Introtech Zimbabwe Private Limited, are very much prepared to fund most of the positions that may seem to be controversial at the moment. As a matter of fact, they indicated that, I must make it categorically clear, that if they can mobilize and ensure that this project is up and running as quickly as possible. As a matter of fact, they've got the equipment, they've got everything that can be on the ground within a week even of this particular session, as long as they understand, of course, and I know that this is an issue that has got more to do with the company than anything else, which is why I don't want to waste your time explaining that. But they've made it very clear that they are happy. Now they understand, obviously, the problems associated with this particular arrangement. And because of that, they are taking action. And this action, obviously, is in the form of effectively restructuring this board and the management. And they are mobilizing on the ground, and they are more than happy to pump out these monies that are required, since they are the principal funders in the first place for Introtech Zimbabwe to be in existence in the first place. I think on behalf of the shareholders of Introtech Zimbabwe Private Limited, that is what I wish to communicate to this Augusta House.
And you, when did Mr. Chivayo cede the shares?
In 2014.
So, when he signed this, who signed the agreement for this project?
Mr. Chivayo has basically been responsible for the day-to-day running of Introtech Zimbabwe Private Limited, as obviously a director and the managing director for that matter.
So he signs in his capacity as managing director, not as shareholder?
No, he signs in his capacity as the managing director and the director of Introtech Zimbabwe Private Limited.
So as shareholders, were you aware of all these transactions which came through the company?
Right up to the commencement of the monies that we're talking about, yes. But obviously after that, there hasn't been much communication, and there hasn't been much transparency, so to speak.
Do you say the money that has been put into this project, has it gone to the intended purpose?
Frankly speaking, the shareholders are none the wiser. They do not understand. The same questions that everybody here is raising are the same questions that are being raised. But what they are saying is that we have got the capacity, because these are Zimbabweans. We have got the capacity, we have got the money, the balance sheet. And yes, they are happy to ensure that whatever it needs to be done is done.
Okay, Honorable Chirisa, my last question to you is, how much money have the shareholders that you represent put into Introtech?
Right now, they are compiling a reconciliation of the monies that they've put into debt, but we're looking at between $2 to $3 million.
Tachvayo, how much money have you put in Introtech? Are you able to, sorry, how much money?
Maybe $2 to $3 million.
Are you able to show us proof, both parties, of the money that you've put into this? Because this is now going to what the members of parliament say, is this a briefcase? And if there's anybody who's putting money, we want to know. So by end of this week, if we can get the documents telling us and proof of money that has gone into this organization. Any questions from members of parliament of the committee? Yes, Honorable Nengami.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to put the question to the lawyer that, like what you rightly said, that Mr. Chivayo ceased to be a shareholder in 2014. As of now, is he an employee as a director or what? In terms of currently, what connections does he have with Intratech?
Right. Currently, he is a director, and he is the managing director of Intratech Zimbabwe Private Limited.
Why did you tell us that you were a 50% shareholder before us? You took off and said you were a 50% shareholder, and now we are told you are not a shareholder, you are a managing director. What is your response to that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The issues of shareholdings, I think, is an internal issue for Intratech. It's my word against his word. He will say, I ceded shares in 2014, but in 2015, after signing the contract, Mr. Yusuf Ahmed gave me my 50% back. And I have evidence to that effect. We have share certificate, which is in my name for the 50%. So he is a lawyer representing those shareholders. I didn't bring my lawyer. And it's a dispute that if we disagree, us as shareholders are...
I just wanted to know whether a shareholder...
I am a 50% shareholder, and I stand by that.
Yes, Honorable Holder.
Chairman, what I just wanted to clarify, the lawyer who's representing the other shareholder, have you got documents regarding to the ceding of the shares to the other partner?
Yes, I do have those documents. I have them with me even right now.
Can you yes.
It looks like the two are not agreeing. Is there any court cases going between the two of you? Because we don't want you to be subject.
Yes, indeed, there's a potential dispute that should go to the courts. And the session is not registered.
Mr. Chivayo,
Yes.
You cannot be, you are under oath and you keep jumping the gun. Can you switch off the question Mr. Honorable Holder asked you? Is this case before the courts, yes or no? Not that it's going to court. Is it your dispute? Is it before the courts, yes or no?
Then my response was, there's a potential dispute.
I said,
Lawyers have been communicating.
Is this case before the
lawyers
courts?
have been communicating and letters have been written.
What we are saying, Mr. Chivayo, I think, Mr. Chivayo, you are not understanding the consequences of this. I think you are not understanding the consequences of what you are doing. We are not here to play games. We are neither here to really be having you telling us things which are not true. You are under oath. I keep saying this to you, you are under oath. And Honorable Nduna warned you of prevaricating. And we have just asked you, is this matter of shareholding before the courts, yes or no?
No, it's not.
Mr. Toko, may you finish the committee with the documents that relate that he ceded shares, and if there are any that will come, I mean, if the matter goes before the courts, that's different. But for now, we want to establish the legitimate owners of this entity, and by so doing, if you could forward us those documents, and we'll study them and make appropriate recommendations. If Mr. Chivayo have anything to the contrary too, you are free to also submit to this committee. Yes, Honorable Mtem.
Mazita Chairman. Inini Chairman, mvunzo wangu through you, Mr. Chairman, ndo kuti Zesa Holdings se company yakakura udari inomirira nyika yedu. Ine mari inoshanda udari yakawanda udari inenge ichibuda nevanhu mari yenyika yedu through Zimbabwe Power Company. Vanenge vane basa rekumirira mari dzedu yakawanda udaro. Kana takatarisa vachisenza nekambani dzakadai so kuti nyika iende mberi ine vanhu vakaita madegree vane PR department, chii chiri kuitika kuZesa, chii chiri kuitika kuIntratech. Ivo veIntratech pakusenza kwa mvunzo wangu ya chairman wakusimuka Wendabvunza vachivhaya kuti mune mhosva here yamakambopara ine chekuita nenyaya dzeuri vakati azveshuwa zvakabuda pachena kuti fraud stakuba saka vakachaiwa 2 years handiti but ivo vari kuti zvese izvozvo hazvina basa inini ndaichandoda kuita chi kuita mari saka maitiro emari acho ndiwo here ava evaishanda neZPC anyway discussion yedu secommittee asi ndinofunga ZPC nezesa holding sinofanira kudzoka futi vambotitsanangurira maendero evakaita kuchikoro kana vachishanda nemakambani akadai so.
I think members of parliament, that's why you're doing such a sterling job in exposing this. If it was not for your oversight role, the country would not have known this. And probably Chero Iwo is this house because the state procurement board is critical too. Could Pawanopama tenders, one wakaita say. So it's a whole chain of people in this parliament who recommend otherwise. Honorable Holder.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to find out from the lawyer, where is the current director that he had to send you as a representative?
He is out of the country at the moment.
Chirisa, then I'll come to Honorable, and then we'll finish off with Honorable. You all speak, but we'll finish off with Honorable Nduna. Honorable Chirisa.
I just want to find out from the lawyer, sorry, I forgot the name. Mr. Togo, I just want to find out from you the current board members, their names, and also you said you are going to appoint a new board. What do you look for in people to become board members, the criteria that you use? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Obviously, to the shareholders, the issues of corporate governance are very important. In fact, for any organization to be functional and to deliver its mandate, corporate governance issues have got to be respected. And the manner in which we want to restructure this board is such that we want to make sure that there are people who have got experience in areas that are relevant to projects of this sort. And that is exactly what we intend to do when we restructure the board of Intratech Zimbabwe Private Limited. Obviously, you can imagine that a situation like this does not leave anybody unscathed, and it's not to be repeated again. And that is exactly why right now we're going to look at people who can dispense with their mandate as board members.
The follow-up. No, the other party did not answer. I asked the current board members, who are they, and you know their background. You did not answer.
May you answer that? Thank you.
In terms of the Sierra 14 that we have at the moment, the current board members of Intratech Zimbabwe Private Limited are Mr. Wigno Chivayo, Mr. Ross Chavi, and Mr. Yusuf Ahmed. And that is what is reflected by the register of directors and shareholders that we have. And we have those documents here.
Amen. When was the last?
You seem to want more clarity. Honorable Chirisa, go ahead.
I don't know. I stand to be corrected, Chairperson. These are the shareholders, and they are board members and managing directors, and what else, and what else, and what else. So, no, I don't understand.
I think what you said is that the shareholders are different from directors. Okay, Mr. Chivayo is a director, but not a shareholder. Okay, the shareholding was seeded, and he's a board member. You see, so that's exactly, if I'm not mistaken, that's what you are saying to the committee.
That is the correct position.
Honorable Chair, just, yeah.
Yes, Honorable.
Did I hear him right when he said he did due diligence and checked with company's registry that indeed Mr. Chivayo is not a shareholder? Is he going to repeat that?
Honorable Ndebele, why don't you direct the question to him? You've got the floor.
Yeah. To him, but through you, Mr. Chairman.
The question, Mr. Top.
May you kindly repeat the question again?
My point is, being a lawyer, obviously in preparing for this, you did some due diligence by way of verifying the facts that just came out of your briefcase. Did you check with company's registry to see if Mr. Chivayo is no longer or ceded his shares, so to speak?
There was no need for me to do that, Honorable Member. We are in custody of all the original documents of Intratech Zimbabwe Private Limited. Any changes that would have occurred obviously would have been done clandestinely.
Just like everything else that has been happening, phone calls, we are coming back to the initial question that I asked before teaming out, that obviously all these orders that were being given into ZESA against their will were taller than the minister. There is a force to reckon with which was higher than the minister, and we keep walking around that. That's the truth. And if Zimbabwe has to move forward, we must arrest this immediately. The new dispensation must show teeth. Obviously, there's a hell lot of criminality.
I think, Honorable Ndebele, you're correct. That's the reason why we've got the Minister Udenge coming, and then we'll get to who's taller than him. I think we are in the process of doing that. We are leaving no stone unturned. I think you know that that is something that is already lined up in him coming before us. It was you and then Honorable Chidagwa. Okay.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. My question is, maybe to you, Honorable Chair, or to Mr. Tokwe, does the contract of Intratech still hold with Zimbabwe Power Company?
Here we go again.
Enjoy world-class radio online. ZFM Stereo is available on TuneIn. Search for ZFM Stereo and you got it.
The platform. Step up and speak up.
You're indeed still tuned into the platform, and in that first half, we heard from the lawyer for Intratech, Mr. Bruce Tokwe, as well as Wicknell Chivayo, who says he is a director. Well, he stands as the managing director, but he says he is still a shareholder with the company, in spite of the fact that the company lawyer says that he no longer stands as one. So just to read some of your contributions here, your contributions are welcome on 0731 168 045. That is our WhatsApp number, and on Twitter at ZFM Stereo, and on Facebook, facebook.com/ZFM Stereo. I'm going to go through two comments at the moment and go straight back into the rest of the presentation before Parliament, when they met before the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Mines and Energy today. I've got Stifler from Bulawayo who says, I knew there was something dodgy with that Wicknell, but put him in jail, take away all that money. That's Stifler's contribution. We've also got Jans Finn on Twitter, at Jans Finn on Twitter, says Wicknell exposed he was just a fund for some unknown shareholders who paid for the company shares, but he refused to cede them to the new owners. So just tell me what you think of the of this matter that has been with all sorts of issues haven't been raised in that first section. What do you think is actually going on? What have you gleaned in as far as that presentation before Parliament is concerned? We're going to go back into it. Mr. Chivayo now is going to explain how he used the money he received from the Zimbabwe Power Company for the project. And as I say, just as a reminder, throughout this, please send your contributions onto our WhatsApp number 0731 168 045, on Twitter at ZFM Stereo, and on Facebook, facebook.com/ZFM Stereo.
Aenda chinorwa kuti vari kurambirei indavapa feasibility. Imi ndimi shareholder minister, you represent the interests of the government. Vana vari kuramba asi ndakavapa feasibility vaiona hongu vari kufara nayo. Zvanzi okay, saka rega ndichaconsulta ndizoti ndinozvifambisa sei kune vakuru vangu. Panga pasina chioko momwe chaidiwa, project ndakayawadwa nestate procurement board after an open tender. Saka hapana paida kuzobhadharwa munhu, ende kuona minister asi zvinhu zvakaoma.
Just on a point of order, stick to the question asked, in that in all this, were there no underhand dealings? Because do you know why, Mr. Chivayo? You said before that that the first disbursement, the managing director refused.
Yes.
Then you went to the minister.
Yes.
The minister gave an instruction. When you needed more money, management said no. But you did not go to the minister, and you said because it leaked. So whether it leaks or not, if you're doing a proper thing, why doesn't it continue? So to me, you say to yourself, it leaked in the media, and the minister stopped. So which says there was something bad happening, because the minister was supposed to continue doing his job despite the leak. Because it's a national project, which is critical for the country. I know that background is critical for you to understand that all these questions are coming from what you are saying.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. You'll be given a time to respond. Honorable Mnangami's point is critical. You said Mlorwa. Honorable Chitakwa, can you come in?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want Mr. Chivayo to know that was he aware when he was called by the engineer or the managing director to say, come and collect your money now, we have been instructed that by the minister. Was you aware that it was illegal because he was getting that money without a bank guarantee? You really know that. First of all, you failed to get that money because you could not produce a bank guarantee. But now you are getting it because the minister has used his influence. Were you aware that it was illegal, what the minister was doing and what he was doing in the minister? Were you aware that you were getting that money and you were using illegal ways because you didn't have proper documents for you to receive that money?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There was nothing illegal about the payment. There was nothing unusual. I have a contract with ZPC. There are provisions in the contract. It's not like ZPC went and paid somebody on the street. They were paying somebody who did work for a contract that they signed. So there was nothing illegal that I did or that the minister did.
I think, Mr. Chivayo, you've got to understand the aspect of the bank guarantee. You seem to be missing that. The question that has been asked is that, were you aware that whatever was happening was outside the due process of what is expected, that a bank guarantee should be there? Yes, to show that it was illegal. The first time the money was released by the minister. The second time it was leaked, the money was not released. And you said before us, the same managing director told you, we cannot give you money until you give us a bank guarantee. Is that not what you say to us?
That's exactly what I said.
So to me, if it was legal, so to me, his point, if it was legal, why then were you then requested of a bank guarantee second time around when the first time you got money without the bank guarantee? Why did that process not continue? Because it was good before the leak. So if it was not for the leak, it was going to continue.
We were going to complete, but as the newspaper started writing and accusing everybody of corruption, nobody wanted to stand that sort of pressure. Everybody became
It's not about them accusing anyone of corruption, even if things are written every day. But if you know you're doing the right thing, you don't stop. This is a national project.
Yes.
They can only stop because it is true what they are saying.
No, it wasn't true.
So to me, the question is that, so if it was not illegal, like he's saying, why did the minister not give you money? And why did the managing director still insist on a bank guarantee, despite him giving you the money at first without a bank guarantee?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. My response is more or less the same. There was nothing illegal. There were provisions. There are provisions in the contract that allow the employer, represented by the managing director, to waive certain conditions in the interest of progress of the project. So everything he did was in the interest of progress of the project. It was not illegal because it's there in the contract. The provisions are there.
I hope you also picked up Honorable Mnangami's point that we not on a witch hunting, we need a bank statement with all the money, public funds given to you on this project before us. We'll then be able to scrutinize and be able to then ask questions where this money went to and who the people got the money, how involved they are in this project. I hope you've taken note of that. I had spoken about the 2.something million, but now we are going to the full amount of this whole project, a bank statement. and if possible, to be able to furnish us easier with documentation, telling us this amount was paid to this one, here is the pro forma or whatever it is, which clearly indicates where the money went to. That would make our job easier and so forth. I'm sure as an organization, before you make out the payments, there's a pro forma that is submitted before you. Honorable Mklang.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I have a lead question for you, Mr. Chifayo, to say that first you were paid 2.1 million as a feasibility payment, and then you have your pre-commencement works. You say you were paid 3 million, is that right?
Yeah, it was about 3 point something. Yeah.
I have a problem with the somethings, Honorable Chair, because we need to have,
because the amounts included VAT, so 3 million, then the last PRC, there was a balance of about 1.4, which they didn't.
We don't want the balance. We want to talk about the money that you were paid as feasibility payment, yes, which is straightforward. It's 2.1 million, you say.
Yes. Like I said, I won't commit to the exact figures since I'm under oath, but on the documents that I'll submit, I'll do a write-up to give a breakdown of how much I was paid, when I was paid, what the total was, and what the balance, because
okay, fine.
Some figures include VAT, some figures don't, so it's very confusing.
So my payment now is what was paid to government as VAT.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I paid about 750,000 as VAT.
To government?
To Zimra.
Yeah, that's government.
Yeah.
And was that sufficient? Do you owe anything in terms of that project?
On the last payment release certificate that they haven't paid, there is a balance of 159,000 for Zimra. But all the other, on the feasibility and all the other 3 payments, I immediately remitted what was due to Zimra.
Why is this 159,000 outstanding?
It's outstanding because I haven't been paid that amount. It's still with the employer.
But honestly, if it's outstanding because you haven't been paid, then it's not owing. I'm talking about the amounts that you received in person.
Yeah, out of all the amounts I received, I paid everything.
You do not owe anything to Zimra.
Well, Zimra don't work. With Zimra, once you have an invoice, they want their money.
Please, may you answer my question? It's a simple... For the amount that you received from ZESA, you do not owe anything in terms of VAT.
Well, this is what I'm explaining, that Zimra requires, once you put an invoice...
I just want a simple
I think it's
answer.
a very simple question. Yes. From the amount of money you received, have you paid your dues to Zimra? Yes or no?
That's yes. Timelessly for that fact.
Then Honorable Tambanat.
And this school is chairman here between 5 million and 7 million. Because why is it we can talk about 7 million? Who is talking of 5 million? So I don't understand which exactly figure we have.
We'll then write to ZPC to give us a breakdown of the 7 million that they think mentioned to us, and then I think that will help us, get to the real issue. Honorable Matamanat.
Madam Chairman. Chairman ndachingotera nawo ichawo asi ndachimbira undibvunze vachifaya kuti yes since muri ndimi mastermind makafunga plan kaipa government ko bank guarantee mamina here kubank I know ndiri kuzoona zvonye kuti muri mwana mudiki aifaitira kuti aite business andika as bank guarantee mamina here and imari yaidiwa yanga yakawanda zvakadii andika ndotoda kuona kuti chakaita kuti mudrive kuti mufaite sokufaita yes you are a fighter because makawina chinhu chaifanira kuendeswa nemutemo asi government yakatora nguva yekukupai waiver makapuwa waiver yekupuwa pasina guarantee andika mutemo wedu weindigenization iripo here waiver iyoyo kumasmall kumayoung indigenous like you kuti mune waiver here yekuti mupiwe such kind of project without being guaranteed kana iripo it's good to say it so that we can help you zvizopera.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Totenda mataura murukiti hongu kuti guarantee handina kuti ndanga ndisingakwanisi kuruwana asi raida mari yakawanda raida 350,000 indikachienda na minister nchiti inini muloko ndakubvisa 350 pamari yandapuwa 2.1 million ndichafanira kubhadharawo vanhu vaita feasibility ima kuti ini ndibhadhare guarantee 350,000 zvino ndinozosarawo nechi kana ndazobhadhara vanhu vefeasibility. Minister akachiti hongu sezvo wati feasibility wakavapa chirega ndichinzwa kuti vachati feasibility yacho yakaitwa zvakanaka here indochizoendawo kune vakuru wangu ndichinobvunza kuti tomubhadhara here nemamirira zvakaita izvi zvakati nemamirira ndochizouya ndoona kuti ndingakubatsire sei.
Chairman, clarity yangu kuna vachivhayo ndeyekuti vachivhayo uloka hwenyu imimi huri papi?
I'm a Zimbabwean.
Handisi kureva as an individual. Ndiri kureva uloka as Intertrek. In terms, because sorry Chairman, paya mamboti yenyu iri kwemwe mubvunzo ye-state procurement board. But zviri kutaurwa navachivhayo kuti as a local businessman isusu sokutsanangurira kwatachimboita kuya kuti kambani yenyu yakangouya assessed. Imimi zvemambotaura mukati mabhizi amanonzi maiko akabva kuchina muchitaura matender documents akapreparewa nekambani yekuchina hamuna kutombomavhura aingorova straight achienda kustate procurement board. Saka imimi uloka hwekambani yeyu chaiyo huri papi?
We are local because we are registered in Zimbabwe, and kana ndichiti bid era technical submission yakabva kuchindi iri sealed. Funding proposal ndopatakaenda kuAfriexim tikati tipewo tsamba tine project vakatokumbura kuona profile yenyu toona kuti imi muri kusenza nani tikati isusu hatina kumbobvira takaita basa iri asi tiri kushanda neava vari kuchina. Afriexim ikati aiwa tsamba tinokupai nekuti vanhu vamuri kusenza nava tinowaziva wabva watipa tsamba. tobva taendawo kubank ABC tikati isusu tiri velocal asi tiri kushanda nekambani yekuchina iyi tipewo support letter vakati tinokupai 15% of the total project cost vakanyorawo tsamba. Saka basa redu ranga riri kubatsira pakutsvaga mari isusu tichifamba nezita reavo wekuchina wangowayo nematsambawo. Saka wauya takachizovhura funding proposal tobva tachizoidrafta tichiti kuno kuseIntratrek Afriexim yatipa tsamba yekuti kana 400 million tinogona kukupai paproject yakadai kana muchishanda nevanhu ava. Bank ABC yatipo tsamba yati tinogona kukupai 20 million which is more than 15% of the project. Tikabva ipapo tikaenda ku South Africa kune imwe financial institution yakabva yanyoro support letter kuti isusu togona kubatsira kutsvaga 15% inenge ichizodiwa kana China yaisa 85%. Saka isusu taimobilizewo tiri kuno tichitawo zvekutsvaga mari mumalocal banks. Saka ndichipindurawo mubvunzo wahonorable chairman wangu achiti pamwe wakashaya mari kana guarantee nenyaya yeprevious conviction. Hapana kana paitaurwa zveconviction pese nekuti hakuna munhu achasvika achiti gogogo pano ndakamboconvictwa. That's the introduction. Hakuna munhu anotaura zve unongofamba usabusinessman ndine company yangu inonzi.
I think Mr. Chibayo, some of these comments will invite more questions which will be here till I think the issue of you not getting a bank guarantee is critical, and the point was, is it because of a credibility issue or not? Because you're talking about big financial houses here, and we're saying, why could they not support you? So it's no point you naming these big institutions when you need a guarantee, they don't give you. So it's for them to tell us why, but for us is to know whether the guarantee or not according to the disbursement of money, and the guarantee was not there. What I was asking you a question you did not answer that. To date, in terms of the work done, you said that you've done half of the fence. I asked you, when did you get the money? When did you start the work? And the money you got, does it cover the work that you're doing in terms of fencing, or it does not?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pre-commencement works, when you're doing them, you have to complete all of them. There's no criteria that defines to say, do the fence first, or clear the land first, but you, as the contractor, choose what do I start with? I start with the designs. Let me look at the road to the transmission to the substation. Let me start by this. So it's not like when you have a criteria of saying I should put the fence first or I should do this first. As long as you can complete all of them, as they are pre-commencement works before the contract. So at this stage, yes, we're doing the fence, but we're also going to start on clearing the land.
When just to turn off, when we at ZPC here, they said that they'd taken over the project. They'd taken over the project. So is it the same project that they're talking about? Because ZPC are saying we're on the ground now and we are doing it. But you're also saying you're on the ground. You're doing it. So as ZPC, did they lie before us that they're taking over?
When they say they have taken over, after these challenges that we faced with the payment of the balance, the new dispensation is 3 months old. We're talking about things that happened a year ago.
No, boss. Let's allow him to respond to the question. In taking over, because you're talking about two issues, the same project you're talking about, ZPC said we have taken over because you failed. Okay? They've taken over because you failed. What would you say to that?
Well, that's incorrect.
Who's on the ground?
It's our subcontractors and ZPC.
So, but where ZPC is supposed to be on the ground?
Yes, because it's their project. They're supposed to be there.
In terms of their project, so what is their role in the project? There's what thing role are they playing right now in this whole
ZPC is the employer, so they're supposed to be present on site to supervise the works and see they have somebody employed on the site.
I'm not talking about supervising.
Yes.
They did not say they were supervising.
Yes.
They said they have taken over the project because of you not delivering. What? So are you telling me all they're doing, they've just got a supervisor who's watching what you're doing, so they have nothing that they're doing?
What we agreed was that I brought my subcontractors, they reviewed the subcontractors that I had, and then I brought in a suggestion, which I said, if you pay the subcontractors directly, because I will certainly not be able to get a guarantee. So rather,
thank you very much. So you have admitted now that you have failed to run the project and you roped in ZPC are doing it, like you said. So ZPC now have come in.
They've always been in there, the owner of the project.
No, let's go step by step. In what you are admitting now is that you have agreed with ZPC to do certain works because you don't have the money. Is that not what you're saying?
No. I'm saying we agreed with ZPC that the balance of the pre-commencement works, they pay the subcontractors directly and engage them so that...
But who's supposed to pay them from the initial agreement?
ZPC is supposed to pay me and then I pay the subcontractors. But we signed an addendum.
Now we're going in the right direction. ZPC diverted from paying you and paying somebody else.
Because I said I can't give them the guarantee that they require.
But they gave you money to do some work?
Yes, but it was combined works for all the pre-commencement works. So the balance that they're supposed to pay then gets to completion of the work. So I made a presentation to them and said, look, this balance, if I spread it around and pay this company, and this company, all these works that are due will be completed. So they said, okay, let's sign an addendum to that effect. Then we pay directly the subcontractors. Then we finish the pre-commencement works.
So now it's an addendum.
Yes, we signed
that is coming in.
Yes,
because you have failed to do the work, to raise money, to finish off the work. Now an addendum is coming in. Because an addendum is after.
Yes.
So the original agreement does not talk about ZPC coming in. An addendum is after you have failed and it's added because it's simple addendum add. It means it's now being added because you have failed. Otherwise, it was not supposed to be there.
Yes.
So you have failed. Thank you for responding to that. Yes, Honorable Madueko. Then I'll go to Honorable Sayami and then Honorable Klanga.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Order. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ask that question, Honorable. Honorable Madueko, you have the floor. Honorable Ndewele. Honorable, let's just allow this to...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You were paid in January 2016. Then they came January 2017. This is January 2018, but nothing is happening. No fencing, no clearing of the ground. Where is the 5 million point something?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Like I explained, we did part of the works that could not be quantified.
May I be allowed to say there's no truth in that, Mr. Chairman?
To date, ZPC's exposure is on average 1.8 million, but on the 20th, we're submitting a geotechnical survey, which is going to be about 600,000. And then when we finish the fence, that's another 550,000. That will be
Yes. You see, you cannot choose to respond to issues that we've gone past. It's pretty clear. The intervention of ZPC, according to us here, which is evidence, is that you have failed. So we now understand why they've come in, and we don't know why they've not. They are still accommodating you. We will call ZPC before us again to say, how can you then have an addendum? Why don't you just terminate this whole arrangement and have ZPC do it? Because clearly it has failed. We cannot sit here and say that this project is going according to what was agreed. Clearly it has failed with the numerous answers that you are giving and where you are failing to think give. So this is critical for us to understand that, and the intervention of ZPC is timely, is critical, and I think they must now go ahead, and we now must ask them, what role do you still have to play in this? How many addendums are they going to have in this whole contract? Yes, Honorable Sam.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You've already taken my words. There is not much to deal with. No more lullabies here. This country has to move. If no more phone calls are happening, so the project is in flip-flop. Those phone calls which were coming, they have been cut. So the contractor is now in trouble. So we must look for genuine contractors.
And I also want to add on top of that, Committee Chair, apachisina need yokuti vachivhayo varambe varipo pasaiti yekugwanda. Kana varamba varipo iko hino, zvakureva kuti imomo muZPC macho imomo kuna vanhu vari kutorawo mari ichida kuenda kuna chivhayo vachidyawo. So ngazvichimbomiswa ivo veZPC ngavatitaurire zvavakaita chaizvizvo. Kumari yavakapa chivhayo vakamupa mari chinzi ndei iye chivhayo wacho ngaatipe statement yake but iye ngacho.
I think that has been noted. Honorable Charissa, account Honorable Mtlang, and then Honorable Nduna and Joe. Honorable Charissa, you had your hand up.
Thank you, Chairperson. Mine is not a question, it's just a recommendation, Mr. Chairperson. I think we have had enough of Mr. Chivai. Let him bring what he said he'll bring or to give to Chio. For the time being, I don't think he has new things to offer us. So he might as well leave and we bring in the ZPC. Thank you.
Mhlanga. Honorable Nduna.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, my line of thinking is around the issue of Mr. Chivayo coming in at the same time with ZPC, because it is a crime to prevaricate according to the standing rules and orders. You can be protected for the information that you give, which is genuine information. If you prevaricate, you'll be charged with contempt. Would you care to come in at the same time with ZPC to see the left from the right, so that it is known who is telling the truth in terms of whether you are still on site or not on site? Because there is contempt of court that can befall either of you after prevaricating, because you are on oath. And then the last thing that I want to suggest, Honorable Chair, Mr. Chivayo, you can also take the water on the right. You can also use it.
Bojo.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm worried, Chairman. Ne maitro anoitwa na Mr. Chivayo. Contract pawakaipiwa nguva zhinji taivaona stereki chavo panga pari pa social media.
Honorable members, can we please have one committee meeting? Thank you.
Right, vari pa social media, Honorable Mr. Chivayo. Chavo vanga vachaga vanhu vari influential, including the former first lady. Hatizivi kuti pavanga vachiposta ku social media vanga vachiposta vachitira kutoti kuva varatidze kutoti vane simba rakanyanya here vari untouchable pavanga vachiita ndo zvazvoratidza kabhozi kachizotaura kutoti basa rakatanga maybe last month after new dispensation, so I don't really understand uchinji chakachiitika chavo yanga iri Facebook nechi, so I don't know tiko Mr. Chivai vangatitaurira kutiko pavanga vasingashandi vanga vachita basa re-social media here kati vanga vachiite apa.
Sorry, Chair. I need to not contempt of court, but contempt of Parliament. I need to correct that. Contempt of this august gathering here, which includes me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Mlengami, I think these are some of the comments which are coming through. Okay. The aspect of social media is something that you probably give us as just a parting shot and conclude.
Thank you, Chair. Just two quick one. Firstly, maybe Chair, you allow the lawyers maybe to say something. And secondly, through you, Chair, I just want to ask Mr. Jivayo, what is your relationship with SK Moyo? Because I understand he calls him father, something like that. If you can just explain to this committee, just like what you explained, your relationship with the former First family, can you also explain to this committee your relationship with SK Moyo?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Unfortunately, can I just answer these? Because that's not in your image. The first one from Honorable Member about I have no problems with coming for a meeting with ZPC while we sit next to each other. I don't have a problem with that. And then mavunza nyaya social media tikati kuenda pa social media akusi kuti vanhu vazive kuti ini ndiri untouchable kana kuti handibatike. Takangoita machallenges atakaita, but pama issues funding ZPC will agree kuti pakuraisa mari ndanga ndiri kumhanya fundraising process zvese zvaidiwa ndichiita. Issue yanga yakasarira kumashure ndiyo issue yema pre-commencement works, of which they constitute 3% of the project total. Fundraising kwakakosha kwacho kuti project yese izoitwa machina azoya uzoisa masola ndokwandanga ndichiconcentrate nguva yese iyoyo yatakamira ma pre-commencement works. Then the last question was from with Honorable Minister SK Moyo. We are not related, and it's only speculation and conjecture to say that I call him father, because I'm not related to him at all. I mean, he said.
But you see, I think unfortunately, social media can destroy, and this committee can show pictures of you and him clearly saying, "This is my father, and this is where it's coming from."
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm sure with the social media these days, you take pictures with any honorable. Like if I bump into you, Honorable Melissa, I can say, "Can I take a picture with you?" That does not necessarily mean that I'm related to you. I'm not related to the former First family. I'm not related to the Minister of Energy or any of the other Ministers of Energy who were there. My interest was just my project, so I always made an effort to see whoever was directly involved or directly in charge or represents interest in my project.
Bonazo.
Maita basi che nachifunga kuti pofungwa dzokuti zvazvakadii kuti handizive pamwe makaenda ina handizvichazi handizoti pamwe yakaenda ndisingazvisiyi committee kana isina kuenda committee kuningiro kwaitwa basa na Mr. Chivayo varapa zvakadii kuti tiende kotunoona background tega nemazi zvedu pane zvavangachita kuti ndagadzira 17 km and so on zvinotiitira easy and uye zvinokuti titaurira tichiona chokwadi paari
takatobvumirana honorable Tamara takatorizoma kuti tofana kuenda ikoko ende tichativetsera information yachatipa mari dzakabhadharwa kuza tiri kungoenda ikoko tisingazivi kuti iyi mari yakabhadharwa chakati tichiona and so saka vati pride vari kupa izvozvo patinoenda tine magwaro anoenderana nebasa rakabhadharwa nezviri kuitwa paground and so forth. I'll ask the thing lawyers who are here. You represent other shareholder. Can we have your input into this?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and honorable members.
I think Mr. Think Tokwe, you are free to come and sit in front. You, Mr. Chivayo, is too big for me to see you. Members, if there are any members leaving without seeking leave from the chairman, we'll just record you absent.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and honorable members. As we indicated earlier on, we act as proxies for the shareholders of Indratrek Zimbabwe Private Limited. So just to make it as simple as possible, I'll speak in the first person register. Right, I'll start by giving you a brief background of Indratrek Zimbabwe Private Limited. It was indeed started by Mr. Chivayo here and Mr. Yusuf Ahmed at 50% each in terms of the shareholding structure of this particular company in 2012.
To all you Twitter heads, connect with ZFM Stereo on twitter.com/ZFM Stereo /ZFM Stereo.
The platform. Step up and speak up.
So as you heard there, the explosive exchanges in Parliament, the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Mines and Energy, today hosting Mr. Kwirirayi Chivayo, who's a flamboyant businessman who's known for, his being flashy lifestyle on social media, and also the Intratech company lawyer, Mr. Bruce Tokwe. Earlier on, they talked a lot about the shareholding and ownership, and in the second part, information around how the money that was received from the Zimbabwe Power Company project was used. And just to read some of your messages here, I've got a message here. Someone says corruption's everywhere in ZESA. Even to get a ZESA meter, you have to bribe them. Mr. Chivayo knew all was illegal. Then we've got another message here. Ana Chivayo ndidzo mbavha zaibira nyika dzichitemba the protection and patronage, but mbavha idzo mupotsire mujere. Going to another message, it says the bank guarantee on his own puts Mr. Chivayo on the wrong side of the law, and he has a tendency of indicating left and turning right. There's a chain and ZPC involved. Try someone else, not Chivayo at Gwanda, that is from Mandla Mpofu at Alisdale in Nyamandlovu. So that's essentially the bulk of the information I've been getting from you guys is pretty much the same. Everybody talking about, I got a message here, someone said that they were applauding the work that was done. I'm just trying to get the name of this person. Yes, my issue says that thumbs up from Honorable Themba Mliswa in as far as the grilling that took place. The conversation can carry on, of course, on Twitter at ZFM Stereo. Tell us what you think of the exchanges that happened, that Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Mines and Energy today, which hosted Intratech company lawyer Bruce Tokwe, as well as we don't know whether he is a shareholder. He says he's a shareholder, but Intratech says he's not a shareholder in Kwirirayi Chivayo. Other than that, I say take care of yourself and the people that you love. Make sure you go onto our, if you missed the program today, go onto our the ZFM Stereo YouTube page, and just listen to the podcast that will be available by tomorrow, and you'll be able to tune into the exchanges that took place, as well as some of the feedback that you were able to share with us. I leave you now in the comfortable hands of Sheila, and otherwise I'll be back with you tomorrow between 8:30 and 9 p.m. on what is called Health Matters. Take care of yourself and the people that you love. It's ZFM Stereo, my station, your station, the hottest radio in town, and as I always say, I see this, siyasebenza.